Trevor Boddington and Stephen Woodhouse work as a team to make sculptures, toys and models, often with a sci-fi theme. Early in 2013, they were asked to build a display of models to help celebrate the opening of the new library of Birmingham. Together with the event organisers, Capsule, they decided on the theme of science fiction from vintage literary sources. They focused on the three main pieces for the exhibit: a robot inspired by Isaac Asimov's I, Robot, Martian tripods from H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, and perhaps most ambitious, they planned a full-size sit-in-time machine as per the book and the 1960 movie made by George Pal. Making these large-scale pieces out of junk would be a challenge, and it took Trevor and Stephen on a journey of creativity, fun, learning and inspiration. As usual, they tried hard to inject variety and dynamic activity into the whole thing and asked their good friend Lynn to follow them on this journey to capture the ups and downs. They began by announcing the projects to friends and fellow artists who come to the studio and to ascertain if they'd like to be involved in some way.
We just wanted to explain what Steve and I are doing in the new library for a display in September, so that you're all aware, because we're going to do a lot of it here in this space, build some things here which will take up quite a bit of room, and then invite you all to join in a bit if you want to. But certainly when we're there, come along and join in if you want to, be involved or just visit. What it is, the library have asked us to do a small exhibition based around sort of vintage sci-fi authors, so the likes of Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, that sort of thing. They're Victorian, but they don't have to be that exact era. So what we've agreed with them, and they're happy with this, we're doing 3 large pieces. What we planned originally, we planned 4, but in the process we found out there's only room for 3. One is all about I, Robot. So we've got this person here, this robot, however you describe him, her, that's your own interpretation, but we're going to have that on display, and then a lot of little robots like that one, and lots of bits and pieces for other people to come along and join in and have a go at building some little robots if they want to. So there'll be obviously public coming in and out. So that's one thing, if you want to be involved in, you can do. So that'll be one exhibit, I, Robot, which is Isaac Asimov. Another corner will be the time machine, and that will be hopefully a lot of fun, because we're going to build a sort of version of the time machine, our version out of junk, that people can sit in and touch and push the buttons and have a go with. Especially even kids might like it, we're hoping. So what we're going to do, we've got some old furniture we're going to use. This will be the seat. So that'll be in the middle, like that. And then we've got an old writing bureau, which is going to go on the front. And we're going to fill that bureau with old radios and a television and a computer and joysticks and things. That'll be the control panel. And then we're hoping that this will be on the back. We'll attach it all properly, and that will allow us to mount a big spinning wheel on the back. So what we've got at the moment, we've cut this out ready. It's not that big, but it's a start. Just to give you an idea, that'll be on the back, and we'll paint it gold. And we're hoping to ask you, Chris, if you could help us to fit a sort of spindle or something, an axle, so that it'll just spin freely.
I can make a bigger one than that.
Or even make a bigger one.
4 foot across, yeah.
That'd be great. If you don't mind.
I was thinking of suggesting that, Trev, but if you're going to have supporters going along to assist or whatever, to dress appropriately of the era.
That's not a bad idea.
It doesn't have to be, but I think Robbie just suggested, a Doctor Who. And he's sort of dressed in that sort of gear.
A long scarf.
Yeah. Actually, it's not a bad idea if people We felt brave enough to do that. That'd be fine by us, wouldn't it, Steve? We'd do it too.
Well,
I can imagine, you know, Victorian clothing or something, or even you could do like Einstein, or, you know.
anything like that.
Let me just explain the other pieces. The third major piece is War of the Worlds, which again is
H.G.
Wells. We're doing 3 of these. These are the tripods. We're going to have 3 of them, and they'll all be sprayed silver. And obviously that's not finished, but it starts. And then we're going to have a sort of town on the floor made of little cornflakes packets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So again, people can come and join in doing those to add to the display. So I don't know, that might spread out like about that sort of size, and you can imagine 3 of those.
A shoebox or something.
And we're going to have little torches pointing downwards, so they'll be like lasers and whatever.
How are they to be transported to the library?
We're going to have a man with a van. Right, Steve, so we've got this bureau ready for the instrument panel on the time machine. This will be right at the front, won't it? There you are. And here's the piece we've been collecting to try and put it into the instrument panel. It's old radiogram. Just slide that in, Steve, see if it fits. This is great. This is sort of it's just a clock radio, but it's supposed to be an instrument panel off an aeroplane. So it's all just for show, but it's just a clock radio. So we'll slide that in. Those 3 things fit beautifully in there, and that'll be the start of the instrument panel. Part of the whole thing. So that's the plan at the moment with all that stuff. Hopefully it'll work out. We're going to have a go at building this War of the Worlds tripod. So we've got an artist easel, and that's going to be the tripod legs, of course, and needs a base. So we've got a circular piece of wood which it's been saved from something else from years ago. So we're glad we kept that because we can use that now. So you got that, Steve. So what we need to do is make some little holes with a bradawl, isn't it? Is that called a bradawl? Put that then. Alright, have the easel and push that in there, look. Hard work, isn't it, eh? No pain, no gain. There we are. And we've got to put it at an angle because the machine needs to look sort of like it's evil, doesn't it? So sort of pointing down at the people below. So it's got to be at an angle, not flat. Like that. Alright.
A concoction of plant pots, shower coils, hubcaps and sieves formed the main bodies of the menacing machines, and later with the addition of bicycle lamps hopefully would achieve a dramatic visual effect.
And all being well, with some details added on, we'll put a dome on the top. And it'll look quite menacing. I'm trying to capture the look of the old machines, which is from H.G. Wells' novel. And of course they really did have legs, tripod legs, and then long tentacles we're going to do with shower coils. So we'll have to sort of have them like this, and hopefully look quite effective. The whole thing will end up silver probably. That's what we wanted. So that'll be the part below that, look. As if there's machinery and whatever, I don't know, inside. Once that's on, I'm going to stick lots of little details all over it, bits of wire and pieces. That'll be on there. And the reason we got these little chip pan fire things is because in the novel and in the that modern film they made with Tom Cruise, on the sides they had these kind of cages which they captured all the little people in. So the tentacles will come down the back here and spread out like that. They capture people and they put them in there. So we'll wire these on somehow, and then we'll be able to use little plastic soldiers and whatever, little people, to be have them in there. The scale is as a little toy soldier about that high. And that's the scale. When we put the shower coils on, they'll just flop, but we want to be able to position them a bit. So we'll stick 2 or 3 coat hanger wires down each shower coil, and that'll give it a bit of strength that we can set them up to what positions we want them. Like say that, for example. We can even get some to come up as if the arm is coming over like that.
The robot they had in mind was partially inspired by their own circumstances. They thought it might be surprising for people to come across a robot apparently using a wheelchair and to interpret it in any way they wanted. Once a scrap wheelchair was acquired, the general shape was started with an old printer, computer pieces, vacuum cleaner and a mannequin's head. Milk bottles were used for the boots and lots of wires and tubing for detail. Their friend Chris was busy preparing a 4-foot diameter wooden disc for the back of their time machine. In the film, this disc spins, gaining momentum as the traveller hurtles through time. Trevor and Stephen imagined visitors to the exhibition would be able to spin the wheel by hand, recreating that effect.
This is a spindle. We have a hole in the centre here, which this will be fixed onto. Then we have we have to have a fancy bracket here, which fixes onto the base, and then another fancy bracket at the front, we fix on the front, and then the spindle will go straight through the two. spinning disc. And that's it.
Meanwhile, back at the studio, they made progress on the control panel.
It's just beautiful, those bits. Yeah, well done. Amazing. We're going to put 4 and 8 patterns on here, painted on, and on this side, lots of pictures of you know, sci-fi images and dates. You know, H.G. Wells born in so and so, and pictures of Jules Verne going around, so people will be able to turn the wheel and see the picture and read the dates. So it'll be more interactive then as well.
Things seemed to be going along well when disaster struck. Steve's powered wheelchair, which is his everyday mode of transportation, decided to have a major breakdown. This has happened before and can take weeks to resolve, having a huge impact on his daily movements. The engineer tried everything and it was looking like it would have to be taken away. Fortunately, the combination of several problems were diagnosed and it was operational again in just a few days. This was a lucky break because Stephen and Trevor had planned a trip to the National Space Centre in Leicester for some inspiration and perspective.
Don't worry, don't panic, Mr. Mannering. So we're just going to the National Space Centre in Leicester for a little bit of inspiration for our project. See what they've got there, astronautical stuff, some rockets, astronaut suits. We'll see what they've got, Steve. A little bit of inspiration. Off we go. If you look up there, you'll see the top of the tower. Our bomb's in the capsule. How does it feel, Bob? Feel like you're in outer space? That's great, Daddy. Nice, isn't it? Wish you could come.
The trip was interesting and refreshing. It pushed him on to make some headway as time was fast approaching for the new library to open. In the studio, the tripods were taking shape. They'd bought a pile of shower coils from the pound shop to act as the machine's tentacles. All 3 tripods needed to be sprayed silver, and they hit upon the idea of doing this in a scrapyard. This gave them a safe place to spray, so that if the spray drifted in the wind, it wouldn't land on anything valuable such as a parked car or a window. Instead, it would only land on scrap metal. It also provided a fitting location reflecting the sci-fi theme of the whole project.
At arm's length, as best as you can stretch your arm out. That's it. There you go, like that. That's it. This is where your wonderful finger comes in. See? Ready? See? And press the top then. Right, Steve. Okay, job done.
With the robot completed, the tripod sprayed, the finishing touches were now being put to the time machine. Their friend Laura came in to create a velvet cushion set for the machine. This was cut out from an old exercise crash mat. Steve and Trev made a trip to the famous Birmingham rag market, and that got them a piece of red velvet material.
Yeah, thank you. What do you think, Steve? It's going to look great, isn't it? I think it'll be fine. Fantastic, that is. Way better than we could have done, Steve. We just shoved it on, wouldn't we?
It was decided to display pictures of sci-fi authors and relating images on the reverse of the disc so that visitors to the exhibit could turn the wheel and study them. Finally, the day came for the opening of the new Library of Birmingham. Stephen and Trevor were there as faces of the library. They chatted with the architect Francine Hubin, director of the library Brian Gambles, and Malala Yousafzai, who opened the building. Early on Monday morning, all the pieces had to be moved from the studio on the 4th floor at the custard factory down to a van which would transport it all to the venue. They couldn't do all this alone, and lucky for them, generous help came along. Once the van was loaded and departed, Trevor and Stephen hightailed it up to the library in the city centre. The items went through the rear of the building and along a maze of corridors to the pavilion. This was the home for the Discovery Season, a series of exhibitions and workshops organised by Capsules and running 4 months to celebrate this new library and help emphasise how vibrant it is. Designed by Morag Myerscough, the pavilion was a colourful wooden structure with large opening sections and could be set up however the artist desired.
So all these have got little holes drilled in them. So that in theory people will be able to thread through. And we've got lots of little pieces like that all equal so that you can make legs or arms. And then it's up to everyone to see what they come up with then. It's a good shape. I don't know what people will do. We shall see, Steve. We'll see what we shall see. Oh yeah, there's one already. A bit like the Mercedes badge on the front. These look like headphones. Looks like one of those old microphones, isn't it, as well? And here we are at the Grand National. That type of... And here we are, folks. We work for the BBC here at the Grand National. That makes a great sound. But to bring in a hand drill, if someone says, oh, okay, can we attach that on there? We could drill in there, attach those on, and then we might do that. Oh yeah. Look on the side, couldn't it, as a gun? Stick them up. Oh. One simple thing in there, we've got a little bradawl, which just says somebody wants to attach something on there, you can put a hole, poke holes through, they can wire through it. Do you know what I mean? And then the other thing they want to attach can have a hole in it, and then twist it on. Be worth getting a load of back twist things.
Yeah. The next day the exhibit opened and Trevor and Stephen were able to offer drop-in sessions for people of all ages to make sci-fi robots out of junk. The challenge was simple: make a robot and you could take it home. This proved very popular with the kids, and the adults were able to show off their creative skills too. The exhibit drew in a good crowd each day, and this gave Stephen and Trevor a chance not only to show the pieces they'd worked on all summer, but generally to immerse in a feel-good factor with many visitors commenting favourably on the work, generating a childlike enthusiasm amongst all who attended.
heavy. It's a play on words because he is quite top heavy, and he's made out of tap, so he is tap heavy. Welcome.